What name is guy? Itauma. Moses Itauma. I think he's a great fighter. The young, 20 years, yeah?
20.
Yeah, 20 years. I think Itauma have big future.
We'll do what we got to do in our own time and our own fashion. I think anybody he hits, anybody in the heavyweight division, if he catches him, he'll do some damage. He'll do some damage, and if he caught Usyk, he'd knock Usyk out.
People are saying you're hyping this guy too much. You seem ready for all of them. Are you ready for all of them?
What do you reckon, Gareth?
I think you're ready.
That would, garner him, and get him the experience he needs to compete with a Usyk, right? But right now, it's just not the time. I just think it's just too early.
Usyk had no choice but to acknowledge Moses' sensational knockout over Dillian Whyte. And honestly, who wouldn't? That was a ruthless finish. Whyte looked like yesterday's man, while Moses looked like a king in waiting. And to top it all off, Moses calling Usyk out seconds after the knockout? Pure brilliance. A young lion with a bruised opponent still on the canvas, already demanding the throne.
Turkey's put out that he wants to see you fight Oleksandr Usyk next. Reaction to that?
I want to do it as well, but it's not in my hands, is it?
Would you fight him?
Of course.
Usyk's response, though, felt cagey, like he was buying time. He mentioned Moses, but dodged any real commitment, and that says everything. After watching that brutal Whyte demolition, Usyk knows Moses is coming fast. The respect was there, yes, but so was hesitation. And in boxing, hesitation always means doubt.
I'm a little bit tired, I wanna home.
You're going to rest now. There's already a tweet gone out from you saying, maybe I fight Moses Itauma as well. Is that true?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know, because now I wanna think what next.
Meanwhile, Moses showed pure confidence. No hesitation, no second guessing, just a straight-up call-out, fight me next. At only 20 years old, he's showing the hunger and fearlessness that legends are made of. Unlike Usyk's cautious reply, Moses is ready now. And that puts all the pressure right back on the champion's shoulders.
Usyk, would you prefer to spend time with him in his training camp for his next fight, or fight him next?
Fight him next, then spend time with him.
April, May, it's Dubois, or April, May, it's Usyk. You say immediately yes?
Of course.
And then there's Tyson Fury. He didn't mince his words, and he's spot on. Moses is the fresh blood, while fighters like Usyk, Joshua, and the rest are slowing down. That Whyte knockout was proof. Youth, speed, and power eventually crush tired legs. And if even Fury is saying Usyk can't keep up, the writing may already be on the wall.
Boxing's young man's game and he waits for nobody. So here's the opinion, you've heard it here first. Moses Itauma will wreck all them old men out of the division. Usyk, AJ, Miller, whoever there is who's old, Zhang, fucking whoever else there is, Luis Ortiz, all these big names of the past are all a spent force. And even the world champion now, if they took my belts and give them to Usyk, Moses will wreck him. Because he's a young man versus an old man.
But while Fury's hyping Moses, Amir Khan played the cautious card. Khan urged patience, warning against rushing Moses too soon. But let's be real, patience isn't what fans want after watching that demolition job on Dillian Whyte. Yes, Moses is young, but age doesn't change the fact he already looks miles ahead of so-called top names. Why hold him back when he's proving inside the ropes that he belongs? Usyk didn't tiptoe his way to the spotlight. He took risks. And that's exactly what Moses is ready to do. Amir's words sound protective, maybe even dismissive, as if Moses hasn't earned it yet. But the truth? Moses just destroyed a former world-level fighter with ease. If that isn't proof of readiness, what is? Sometimes talent is so explosive you can't slow it down. Moses isn't hype. He's a storm about to tear through the old guard.
You want to see, obviously, Turkallah Sheikh was saying Oleksandr Usyk.
No, you know what? You don't want to rush him. You want to take it easy. You want to take it slow. Don't rush him. Let him enjoy. He's still 20 years old. Let him get to 22, 23 years old, and that's then you start putting him in with the top names in boxing, like the Usyks and like the Wilders or even the Joshuas and the Furies. At the moment, I think you should keep on building him. Let him keep on winning like this. I mean, if he'll keep on knocking him out, getting some good fighters, but not the world title level. I mean, what if he wins the world title at 21, what's he going to do then? He can't go backwards, you know what I mean?
So when he said Joseph Parker in there afterwards.
Rawling cuts straight to boxing's biggest truth: money drives everything. And let's be real, a Moses vs Usyk showdown would be a monster draw. He praises Usyk as the best of his generation, but then slips in the classic doubters line: "I don't think that fight will ever happen." Why? Because deep down, pundits know Usyk doesn't truly want that smoke. Saying Moses needs rounds is just another excuse, stalling, shielding the old champion from a young powerhouse. Moses doesn't need easy rounds. He needs challenges. And knocking Whyte cold was exactly that. Fans aren't fooled by these delay tactics. If the money's there and the demand keeps rising, Usyk won't be able to hide. Generation versus generation, youth versus age. The sport itself will force this fight, whether Usyk likes it or not.
Well, money always talks, doesn't it? And come on, I mean, it's going to be vast, isn't it? And you know, if Turkey wants it, if the big noises over here, the big money men are moving towards that, then they'll be pushing for that. But at the moment, he needs rounds, and who are you going to put him in against to get him rounds?
Adam Smith admits what many already see: Moses could beat most heavyweights in the world today. That's staggering praise for a 20-year-old. But then he hedges with a protective clause: except Usyk and Du Bois. It sounds like a safe way to hype Moses while still defending the old guard. But here's the truth: Du Bois already got battered by Usyk, and plenty of fans believe Moses is already more polished and more dangerous than Du Bois ever was. So why hide behind excuses? "Not ready yet" is the same tired line pundits use until a young star forces them to eat their words. Moses showed against Whyte that he's not just ready, he's ahead of schedule. His speed, his power, his composure, they're frightening. And if Smith believes Moses is just one step below Usyk, then that gap is closing faster than anyone imagined.
When is he ready? I think he could beat most heavyweights in the world, with the exception possibly of Usyk and maybe Dubois, possibly AJ. But the top 3 or 4, he's not ready for them yet. Could he beat them?
Spencer Brown nails it: speed kills. And Moses proved it against Whyte. Sure, Brown admits Dillian didn't look his best, but that doesn't erase what Moses did. Whyte was still a seasoned, world-level heavyweight, and Moses dismantled him with frightening ease. The key takeaway: Moses has every attribute you'd ever want: speed, power, composure, confidence. He's not a reckless brawler. He's a complete fighter at just 20 years old. That's terrifying for the division. Brown calls him a nice kid, but inside the ropes, he's a cold-blooded executioner. When raw talent merges with a killer instinct, you get a generational star. Whyte was supposed to test Moses's chin, heart, and maturity. Instead, he got folded like a journeyman. That's the difference between hype and history. And if speed really kills, Moses might just bury an entire era of heavyweights.
I don't know what he beat tonight in Dillian. All week he looks a bit weak to me. I don't know if you saw him, but look, you've got to take your hat off to him. He beat a seasoned top 10 fighter, or he was a top 10 fighter. And he's such a nice kid. He's got every attribute you could want. And he hurts and knocks people out. Speed kills.
Joseph Parker also gives Moses his flowers, and it's well deserved. He points out what's glaringly obvious. At just 20 years old, Moses already looks like the finished article. Speed, power, movement, ring IQ. Parker lists them all. And coming from a respected heavyweight, that praise carries weight. Most fighters Moses's age are still learning against journeymen and gatekeepers. But Moses is out here demolishing former world contenders like Whyte without breaking a sweat. What makes Parker's comments hit harder is that he knows exactly how brutal the heavyweight division is. Yet he still says Moses has that special talent. That's something you can't teach. You either have it, or you don't. And Moses clearly does. Fans can feel it. Fighters can see it. Even champions can't deny it. If Parker is this impressed...
I think he's a great talent. I think it's... at 20 years old, he's put on this massive stage, fighting someone like Whyte who has the experience. But if you look at it, Moses ticks all the boxes in terms of speed, movement, ring IQ, probably packs power, you know. He's been knocking on everyone put in front of him, so he's a very special talent, and that's why everyone's excited about him as a fighter.
Dan Raphael breaks it down from the business side, talking about Usyk's star power and Parker's name value. But the subtext is clear. If Usyk versus Parker is being pitched, it's only because people know Usyk versus Moses would be even bigger. Wembley sold out. Fans buzzing. Moses already has the aura of a pay-per-view star, and he's barely begun his career. Rafael admits Usyk Parker could fill seats, but deep down, everyone knows the real blockbuster is the young lion against the reigning champion. The fact Rafael says Moses should get that chance speaks volumes. He's not dismissing it, he's acknowledging the inevitable. The hype is too strong, the talent too undeniable, the demand too loud. Usyk may hold the belts, but Moses is carrying the excitement. And if boxing is about what sells, Moses is about to become unavoidable. Forget Wembley for Parker. Moses is the one who could turn it into a spectacle.
So he should get the opportunity. He's also, by the way, you take that fight between Usyk and Parker, because of the popularity that Usyk has generated in the United Kingdom, and the fact that Parker is a very well-known fighter in the UK as well. You could put that there, and I don't know if you're going to sell out Wembley Stadium on a fight like that, but you can sell out any arena, in the country.
The whispers are getting louder, and now even the business minds are pointing in one direction. Moses versus Usyk is the fight that sells. Rafael's comments underline it. The industry knows this is the collision fans want most. If Parker is seen as a safe ticket seller, Moses is the wildfire. He's the kind of fighter who electrifies arenas, the type of talent that can turn a packed stadium into an event. The money, the intrigue, the generational clash, it all points to Usyk versus Moses. That's why experts aren't pushing it away anymore. They're preparing for it. Moses Itauma's destruction of Dillian Whyte wasn't just another win, it was a warning to Usyk and to the entire heavyweight division. At only 20, he's already forcing champions to second-guess themselves. If he topples Usyk, a new era begins. If Usyk survives, his legacy grows even stronger. Either way, history will be made. So the question is simple. Are you backing the young lion Moses, or the old master Usyk? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.